With so much of our repertoire found in John Playford's English Dancing Master, this tune occurs in popular culture much earlier than its publication date of 1651. John Playford's publishing house in London became a gathering place for music lovers. The famous diarist Samuel Pepys was a frequent visitor. During the Commonwealth, after Charles I was executed and England temporarily became a republic, Playford was a former war correspondent and a royalist sympathizer who was gently nudged by Cromwell's men to consider another profession. Luckily for us, he chose the publication of popular tunes and dances, leaving us a lasting resource that otherwise may have been lost in the sands of time. The Parsons Farewell is an English country dance that was classified as a bourrée in later Dutch versions. It is a complex dance for sets of two couples, unforgiving in its rhythmic relentlessness. In the 17th century, the word farewell was a synonym for good night, that is, the texts written by the condemned before their execution. Whether this title refers to a particular parson or to a Mr. Parson, in what may possibly have been his crime, will never be known. Hi, Gamba fans. Today we're going to be looking at Parsons Farewell from the English Dancing Master by John Playford. It's a very peppy dance tune which gives us a lot of potential for exploring our articulations. Okay, this piece doesn't have a lot of challenges for the left hand, but it does have some challenges for the right hand in terms of fast eighth notes, and sometimes that they're played the wrong way around. We're going to work on trying to get the eighth notes, even if they're on a backwards bowing, to sound like they are on a frontwards bowing. We see it already in the first bar. We start on a down. Let's try to avoid making it sound like it's backwards. So the first eighth has to be stronger than the second, even though it's on a down. And not. Otherwise you get a false accent on the second eighth note or the last eighth note of the bar. And because we've got those eighth notes backwards, we have to then hook the second quarter note of bar 2 to make it work out. There we go. And now we're home free with another hook. So that strong first beat comes on an up bow. I'll play it again. Let's go on. This is a challenge because we have in bars 5 and 6, we have 3 beats up to 1 beat down. So, of course, that can lead to problems like, which of course we want to avoid at all costs. Okay, well, we can do our usual thing of saving and then being very light on the up bow. Let's hear what that sounds like. That doesn't really work either because this note is so bright that if we play it with too little weight on the down bow, it sounds very whistly. I have another solution. Let's use the dot of the dotted half note to pick up the bow and place it closer to the tip for a short down. So I'll show you what I mean. It's C, pick up, E, C, pick up, E. And I think this will give us a nice articulation without being too whistly on the E. You want to practice this with a lot of care so that we don't get too much of a thwack on the E, and we also don't go too fast at the end of the C. So keep your bow speed low. I'll show you what it's like in the real tempo. Quite happy with that. Now, bar 7, we have 2 8th notes and a quarter. Let's play an open D string. I think it's going to be easier for the bow. This is another spot you want to practice with a lot of care, because the string crossing can be messy if we're not careful. Make sure it's very well coordinated. Also, because the second set of 8th notes are on the wrong bow, so we have to think of what we did in bar 1, where it still sounds strong, weak, strong, even though it's a backwards bowing. Now, I really want the next 4 8th notes to be the right way around, so I'm just going to hook. Go on, here a second up bow. It's not a slur, but I'm also not picking anything up. I just keep going, but because I've got a different string, it makes the articulation. Same thing. Now this penultimate bar, we've got 4 8th notes. They're the wrong way around. Sorry, sometimes we just have to accept that. And we end on a nice positive major chord. Now it's your turn. Whole thing again. And I think that this will give us a nicer